All right, so this is Gratitude in the key of E flat major. It's about 78 BPM, and I play this several different ways. Usually, if I can, I'll try to tune my guitar a half step down in order to play it as it would be in E. But I know most people probably wouldn't have the time or the ability to tune their guitar in between songs or even in between sets. So I'll definitely show how to play it in both standard tuning and a half step down. I'll get the half step down way out of the way first, since I know most people won't be doing it that way. But like in my case, we came from playing Goodbye Yesterday in A flat to then this song in E flat. So tuning the guitar a half step down worked really well. So playing that in E, the intro starts out with this open, kind of like the open high E plucking, starting on the 5th fret with the B string, and then sliding up to the 9th, to the 4th, and then 7th, back to the 5th, and then all the way to the 12th. So I'll play it in the full playthrough at the end with the tracks so you can hear what it sounds like, but I do that for the intro and verse 1 and verse 2 if you double verse 1, which we normally do. And then that goes into the chorus. And so the first chorus, I'm usually still pretty quiet and just playing these kind of diamond chords in D shapes on the 4th and 5th fret. So 4th fret of the G and E strings, 5th fret of the B string. Doing the 1 there, and then dropping the E string down to the 2nd fret. And obviously I'm doing this in standard tuning, but it would be a half step down in E flat. And then the next chord, I go down here, so it's the 2nd fret on the G and B, open E. And then the minor up here on the 6th fret, back to that 2nd chord. And we usually do it twice. And then going into verse 3, I'll usually do the same thing, just with a little more gain, that same thing as the intro. Or if you want more energy there, the other option is usually just to kind of pedal on the root notes. So it'd be A7 to E9 to E7, E5, and so forth. That gets into chorus 2. So in chorus 2, I'm usually doing it in the same place, same shapes, just instead of strumming them as like diamond chords, I'm plucking them. So it sounds like this. Pretty self-explanatory. Do that 2 times. The interlude after that chorus is quiet. And then going into the bridges, I usually start up here on the 13th fret on the G string, 12th fret on the E and B, and just kind of pluck them top to bottom like that. And then 12 or 11, 12, 11. And this one I go all the way up to the 18th fret, 17th, and 19th. You could do it down on the 6th if you prefer to do it down there, but I usually slide up. And then it's 16, 17, 16. Okay. And then drop that E string for the last one. So it's 16, 17, 14. And I just build with that through all the bridges, and then once we get to that big, either that last big bridge before the chorus or big instrumental before the chorus, I'll do that part that like the strings play in the track. And so that's 12, 11, 13, 12, 11 on the E, 13 on the G, and then 11, 12, 11, E, B, G. And that's it, and then we just go back to a big chorus. So that's it for playing it a half step down. If we were playing this in standard tuning, which obviously most people will be, and we want to play an E flat, I'll capo the 4th fret so that you can have that B string be the open option for when you're doing the intro sliding part. So you're on the 8th fret to the 12th, to the 7th, to the 10th, all the way up to the 15th. So it's basically the same thing like you would do with the half step down tuning. It's just the G and B strings instead. And then going into the first chorus, you could do the same D diamond shapes if you want. You'd have to do it up the octave though, up there, which could be a little too high or too bright. So the other option, which I usually play here, is just doing kind of like an A shape. And so I'm doing it on the 8th fret with the D, G, and B strings instead of that D shape. And then I drop down to 8, 8, 6. And then it's 6, 5, and then the B string is open. And then the minor, I'm doing the 10th fret with the 8th fret on the other strings. And then back to the second one. And so that's the shape for the chorus that we usually do if we're playing it like this. Then, yeah, again, same thing for the verses. You kind of would pedal on the 1 or do that intro thing again. For the bridge, this one, you do all the same stuff, just down 1 fret. So instead of doing 13, 12, 12, I'm doing 12, 11, 11. So otherwise, the same thing as before. One thing I did forget to mention was just the track doesn't do a big chorus at the end, so it just builds and builds into those through those instrumentals, and then kind of ends there, and it goes to broken down chorus. So when we play it live, we usually go into a big chorus, and so if you do that, it would just be the same parts. I wouldn't change anything. But for the broken down chorus, those little like jazz chords at the end, to play them in standard tuning. So how I would do it is first play the 1 in that same A shape, and then the next one I'd go like this, so it'd be 8, 6, 6, and then the same chord as before, the 6th, 5th, and open 4th string or 4th fret on the B string, and then I just take off my pointer finger and play that G open but on the 4th fret. If you were to do that, if you were playing in the half step down tuning and you're doing those D shapes, you'd be up here. For the next chord, I would go like this. Oops. So that's it would be the 3rd fret, 2nd fret, and 1st fret, or if you're a half step down, it'd be a +1, so 4th, 3rd, and 2nd. The next one would be like this. So it'd be like the 2nd fret with the open E, and I would just move that B string down a half step. And that's pretty much it. Yeah. And then a good tag, if you need some inspiration or an idea, a good tag that we usually do going out of that part is into More Than Able. It's that second bridge are the same chords, so you can kind of do that right into it. The He's Not Done With Me Yet part. Just for some ideas. you.